And here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Track Feedback. It's Saturday, August 27th, one day after the release of House Volume 1, which we're looking at on the screen right now. So for anybody out there in replay land who may have missed the announcement, this is a new release. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Oh, there's my monitor. Good. New release of 14 original tracks that are really, really good. They all came through Track Feedback. They go from a range between deep house, chill out vibes, and up kind of bouncy things. I'm struggling for terms to describe it because they're not formula genre tracks. They're not like the predictable thing of like, press play, here's the build up, here's the break, whatever. They're all really original and unique. And they all came through Track Feedback where we listened to them, gave each other feedback. Each person, here's how you get on a release with Mixitecture. You make a track, accept constructive criticism. When people come and say, here's what needs to be worked on, here's what I feel, here's what I think. Every person on this release was able to take those notes, update their music, let go of their own kind of like idea of what it should be, and then actually update what needed to get fixed. So it became a really quality track. You know, I mean, you gotta have your own ideas, but then at the same time, you have to accept the ideas of other people and realize, yeah, I need to work on myself, I need to work on my music, I need to change some things, and kind of detach from trying to make it perfect and just make it really, really good. And then we got some excellent mastering from our friend Piv at Den, D-E-H-N Mastering. And these are all good tracks. Every single one of these stands on its own 2 feet. They work as a group. I've been enjoying it. I like seeing the comments and reviews and feedback from people. So who's here? Shepherd's, what's happening? Good morning. John Madison, thanks for picking up the album. I really appreciate the support. Ben Hunt and Shepherd's, thanks for grabbing that link for the YouTube channel into Discord. I forgot to do that this morning. So that's just a quick little sample of House Volume 1, which is available on Bandcamp at Mixitecture Records. So what you do is type in mixitecture.bandcamp.com. You can grab House Volume 1, and we appreciate all your help. So let's go in. Oh, thanks for that, reading my email. Yeah, the comment from my girlfriend. She, my girlfriend Maria, put on the headphones and listened to this whole album last night and wrote us a comment. I was like, oh my God. And this is a person who loves deep house music. So if someone's really into deep house, they're going to go deep in the music. You can't hit them with a bad mix or a crappy sound or like a weird song structure. Like they're going to know, they're going to hear it. They're going to know if it flows or not. So even though this is not 14 tracks of all deep house, she was listening to it and she was like, yeah, in the groove. So that's kind of funny. A couple of little advanced notes. There's a new release coming out from Den. That's our friend Piff under one of his release monikers. And this is a track called The Mist. Actually, before we preview that, let me just check Discord and make sure I got all the tracks that are going to be in. Sometimes people... Where's Randy Adams? Sometimes he puts in a last minute. My chat window's not loading. Make sure I got all the last minute tracks. Is Ian here yet? We got one from DJ Waters. That's a good album intro. I want to wait till he pops up in the stream. And so, okay, preview what's coming out. There is a new release on our friends at Nomadism. And I just found out you can do full screen on Discord videos. So here's a little preview of what's coming out from Noise 88, Vibrations of Thoughts. Cool video too. All right, that's a little preview of Noise 88 coming out next Friday. Yeah, Nomadism does some great music. Hey, Piv's here. So let's check out... Oh, Piv, while you're here, I just played the preview of Vibrations of Thoughts. Can I play this your remix preview right now? What my purpose here is to help promote Nomadism, let people know there's a new release coming out. But if this is not mastered yet or not ready for review, I could wait. So Piv, type in, let me know what you think about that. And while we're waiting, I'm going to promote The Mist, which is up on Beatport, and this will lead us nicely into some of our techno for today. So here's a little preview of a track called The Mist in the psytrance genre world, maybe psydub. Yeah, play it. Okay, cool. So we'll go back and do the nomadism video in a second. It's amazing to me how much music is coming out of people in our group. There's that deep low-end growl sound. Wow, wow. It's like 8-minute jam. I want to see where this develops into. Such good ear candy. Side tech. All right, thank you for the word, yeah. That's a deep one. Clear, too. That's like a shepherd's break where everything drops out and there's this big reverb thing going on. Oh man, we're gonna have to buy this track because you can see from we're listening at like the beginning section. Probably by the ending, it's gonna add some layers. Really get interesting. I wanna get my hands on that. Now back to Discord. Growing Out a Minimal remix, Traveling Between Worlds. Yeah, that low end is a drill, right? Wow, they got a videographer for their label too. Look at this. It's beautiful. What's that? What's that? What's that right there? Oh, matches. Oh man, why did it stop? Damn it. And yeah, we heard this in track feedback a couple months ago, a little while ago. I like that snare. It's got like a jingle on it. Very nice. So that's coming out on Nomadism in about a week, and it looks like nobody else put tracks in, so I get to close Discord. Bye. Man, I don't know if you can hear, I took down all my acoustic paneling getting ready to move, and now I have this like natural room reverb on my voice again. Oh my gosh. Okay, what did we do? We talked about House and The Mist. So The Mist is coming out on a label from our friend Gabriel Moraes. I think it's, shit, I just forgot the name of the label. Like Oriole, something like that. Let us know the label where we can find that. Because we're going to hear, to start off with, some tech beats from Gabriel, who makes some really developed layering in his tracks. So EQ flat, stereo width is wide, and here we go, track feedback. Gabriel's here. Yeah, awesome, cool. Tell me the name of the label that you're putting out stuff on so people can, Brain Records. All right, thank you. I move on September 10th. 2 weeks. Yes. BPM. One more time, I want to hear that kick drum kick in. How does this low end feel for you? I like that hi-hat. So you made the kick drum from scratch? Okay. I feel the kick. I was listening to the rumble around it. Oh my god. That sound is so clear. I love that. Oh, I love these notes. The rolling bass came from the kick drum itself. Cool. This is so clear. I love it. Shepard, the delay kick bass line is a bit overpowering. I was wondering about that like 200, 250 hertz area. Good gap. And Shepard, I don't know why I don't have your track in a tab. I want to play your track after this. Gabriel, I'm seeing 3 minutes on here. I already know this needs to be longer. We want to hear more. Matt Schultz. Good sound design. Let's do a quick mono check. 1, 2, mono. I like the drum programming. Mono. New sounds coming in every once in a while. Keep it fresh. Really good. That little ride cymbal, like. Okay, so you didn't build out the whole form yet. Mainly, let's talk about the rumble delayed bassline thing. The low mid area is a little bit mushy when the big kick drum hits. Like, let me try. Okay, I'm gonna cut the lows, cut the highs. There's my EQ around 250. Now I'm bringing the high back. I just cut like 250. There's our low sub area, and here's our highs coming back up. So I got, that EQ is in the low mids. There's flat and cut. EQ flat and cut. So when I cut out that low mid area, the kick drum feels more like bow, like round and like one sound. And with that low mid back in, it's like how. So I guess the main mix note would be to check out the bass layering with the kick drum, explore from 100 to like 400 hertz, and see if you can take one of those layers and dip out something like 200 or 250 or something, so we don't have so much of this. Ben, all right, a contradictory opinion from Justice Hunt. Ben saying, has a classic techno rumble. All the other elements are really clear, so it doesn't bother me. That's a good point. I mean, if you wanted to sound like that full low, to me this sounds like a techno track where you made a live recording of it already playing in a space. It feels like the reverb of a sound in a room is already in here. So for me, the low end feels a little bit too much like debatable, but I would take down some of the low mids. Yeah, Gabriel, yeah, only in the rumble. Like the kick drum itself, I think is pretty cool, and we heard it right here at this gap. That one kick drum before the gap. Boom. The kick seems like it has a short duration, powerful sound. The kick by itself is cool. Just the rumble, maybe even take the rumble volume in the mix down a bit. Difficult, somewhere in between Ben and Steve. So yes, the track needs a rumble. Maybe the rumble's too loud. Maybe you can EQ the rumble. And here is a mix tactic for everybody out there in replay land. Producers learning how to mix. There comes a point where lowering the volume of a sound or doing an EQ cut are almost the same thing. If there's like one part of a sound that's really clear and the sound is like only happening in one band, like if the whole entire sound is a low mid-range sound only, turning down that sound is almost the same as EQing out the low mid-range of that sound. So if we're talking about a sound that's too loud in the mix, one solution could be to do an EQ cut, or possibly you could take the whole thing and just bring it down. Sort of debatable. Shepherds. If you just put atmosphere in the tops, then the rumble would be fine. That's a good opinion. And I don't actually make rumble techno, so I don't want to tell you what's right or wrong. Matt Schultz, we need more dissenting opinions. Do you agree? No. Okay, Gabriel, techno is a whole new world when it comes to mixing. Compared to dark and high-tech, psytrance, techno is crazy. I hear that a lot. I hear that also where people are like, drum and bass is the most technical genre in the world. And then psytrance people are like, psytrance is the most technical genre in the world. And then pop producers are like, oh my God, pop music is so technical because there's so many layers. So I agree, anything that has a lot of layers is gonna get technical. Ben, maybe tone the rumble down, but there's a thin ambience. All right, cool. So, you know, my verdict on this one is bring this back with like at least 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, and experiment with the rumble. In general, I think the kick drum should be really big, and the rumble should be a little bit less obvious in the mix. And however you choose to get there is a production decision to play with. So let's leave it at that. My favorite thing is that in the structure, we have new percussion coming in every once in a while to keep it fresh. And let's go back. I want to hear that ride cymbal. It was like a slash kind of a thing. Oh wow, Pip, jingles are the most complicated. Yeah, a jingle, like a 5-second commercial audio or 10-second. Right here, that hi-hat, 242, that's awesome. Keeps you amped up. And then right here, that other, I don't know if that's like a ride or like another open hi-hat. It's just perfect. The timing of those bringing new energy on the drums. Super cool. Yeah, and everything in the mid-range instrument groups, high frequencies, reverbs, delays, stereo panning, the whole mix is so good. If I go really, really deep talking about the rumble part, it's like, that's the only thing I can comment on. Only problem is here, track is not long enough and the rumble might need to be adjusted, and then that's gonna be good. So bring that back like next week or Wednesday and let us hear it. Now, to make a seamless transition to Shepard's Broken Glass, curious about kick drum edits and some of the sounds and things like that. So let's, I gotta find the level and bring it up. Here we go. I said, here we go. All right, that's gonna be the level. Let me just restart. Do your tracks always start like this, or do you ever have like an intro? I actually forget. I kind of like it that it just slams in from the beginning though. Oh, Gabriel, awesome. So Brain Records is looking for demos for techno. Good to know, thank you. All right, DJ Waters, now we can begin. I like that close hi-hat, feeling crisp. Let me check the change log. Notice the stereo field more. And mono. Stereo. Mono. Stereo. Yes! I was just looking at the phase meter. What? Watch the phase meter at that breakdown. Here we are, almost fully mono. And all this wide stuff comes in the breakdown, and it's right back in the center. Yeah, kick drums are sounding good. And now it's nice and straight, too. I think that's totally a good improvement. Keep that beat right in the center, like, without all the extra kicks. That's working for me. luck on your exams. I'm turning on my headphones. These sounds are so good. Fun. I want to try a little bit of a low shelf boost. I'm curious how the sub frequency is going to feel. I don't know if you felt that. That was just like 3 dB, 60 hertz, low shelf EQ boost. There's flat. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, I'm pulling the broadcast level back. A little more low end boost right here. This is flat right now. Here comes low shelf EQ boost. And that's about +6 on the low end. I think it could use some more sub feel. Flat. Boost. Flat. Boost. What do you guys think about that? Do you think you get a little bit more like sub in the mastering maybe? And flat. Now I gotta roll it back. I'm not done here. Hold on. This break. That sounded like a scratch, like a DJ scratching. This background sound that's like it's like a little background buzz, like an actual alarm buzz. Good background. There's the broken glass. Oh my God, this is amazing. The high frequency details. Oh, the growling sound, gotcha. I saw in your notes that you completely cut out some sound around 4 minutes. I don't even remember what it was before, but this is really good, just like this. Yes. That's amazing. It's like a wash of high frequencies that came in right there. Yeah. So Ian, what did you say? You're missing a layer of top loop? Would that be like a snare and a clap kind of a thing? I don't know. Here we go at the ending, stripped down and simple. I love it. That background sound. I like how it has a pulse. Double kick drum came back in perfectly. That's so cool that the double kick drum thing, when you hear it come back, you're like, oh, I recognize that from the beginning. We must be at the ending. So it gives you like a bookend or a start and an ending. Yeah, great effects. Hit the loop. So Ben Hunt, that's interesting. A bit more high end. I was about to say the exact opposite. I was gonna say for mastering, I would like a little more low end for the sub. But let me go in the middle and hear what Ben is talking about. High shelf EQ right here. Wait, where's the part with some high frequency? Okay, Ben, here comes some high shelf. That's it's like +3, flat, boost, flat, and now low end, boost, flat, flat. Okay, so Shepherds, this is totally done. Yeah, solid track, absolutely. There's a little bit of space for mastering EQ, where personally I think, just from hearing this by itself, I feel like it could use a little bit more of the sub, like the low frequencies, I don't know, 80 hertz and down, a little bit more of that. Oh, pivclit, so maybe turn the mids down. If one person wants more bass, one person wants more highs, maybe turn down the mids. So yeah, the answer to this is, for everybody out there in replay land watching, you know, we have these debates going on, which I love in the group. The answer is reference mixes, where you take all the Shepherds tracks at this tempo, listen to them together, compare them to a couple other jams from other producers and other labels, and then make a decision. What's the overall low end feel like? What's the overall crispy high end feel like? And make these masters fit together so they are playable as a group and they fit into a set with other music. So other DJs are gonna buy it. This ending right here, I could listen to this for like 5 minutes. I like how you built up the reverb before the ending. Listen to that reverb rumble, right? At the end of this passage right here, you can hear the reverb building up with like a side chain. That's really interesting. I didn't hear that the first time. That reverb space is fading in with a super side chain pulse on it, and then it comes out. Yeah, that buildup at the end is super cool. And I don't know what. Don't you do something with your intro sometimes where it's different from just the plain kick drum? I seem to remember Shepherds tracks where the intro starts off like filtered and then the kick comes in. So maybe before 14 seconds, maybe do like a bandpass filter so we have like something to beat match with. And then when the track is in at 14 seconds, you get the full slam. Like this. Okay. I'm gonna do it on the board right here. And high end comes in. And then on the first broken glass, drop the full kick drum right there. That's a little creative effect, but you know what? I could completely do that on a DJ mixer while I'm mixing the track, and I don't need it to be in the production. So good job, Shepherds 2.1. Hear that reverb? Gated reverb. 2.1 is done. Sound design is beautiful. All the mid-range details and everything really are coming through like so nicely. The whole thing has a flow. And I really want to point out the progress over the last 6 months in the gaps. So these little sections where there's a kick drum dropout and something happens, I've noticed that you're really putting in some automation effects and work in those sections. And that's where the most attention is happening. Like there's a dropout. People are like, what happened? Where'd the kick drum go? And there's this little thing like, and then it comes back in. Okay, so Shepherds, there's the answer. For this one, the intro is the broken kick drum pattern, and then it goes to straight kick drum for the full body. Yeah, totally awesome. That track is done. So put that into the mastering waiting list, I guess. And let's check out the Machine Soul, going to a little bit of different vibe. Rebuild, EQ flat, here we go. Oh, Shepherds, I see your comment, a gated send return reverb that's building. That is really cool at the ending. Ooh, that's a nice bottom. We haven't seen Robert Machine Soul in here for a while, but hello. I like that vocal thing. an example of a low mid-range sound that's really good at 180 or 200. Wall. 350. Kind of hypnotic, right? Wow, these vocals are amazing. I don't have any comments yet. Okay, 2 minutes, we got like a lead. Ooh, that hi-hat. Excellent, 224. Little hi-hat comes in. Yeah, John, this sounds like your kind of track, totally. Oh, Ian, I didn't know you had a trip to the zoo recently. All right, right there. Hold on. On the words, don't you know it? Listen to the volume of your listen to the volume of the voice with the words "you're looking for me," and then the words "you know it." The words "know it" are a lot quieter. I'm not touching the. It totally drops off in level. So up until now, I didn't hear anything I wanted to comment on this track. The mix is great, sounds are great, it's really like clear, and the vibe is amazing. But when I hear a vocal like that where the vocalist, it kind of sounds like he was singing and kind of backed up off the mic at the end of that phrase. And that's something in production that, like at a live show, you know, that's very like effective, where you feel what's important and you feel what words are kind of throwaway. But in a release like this, or a track like this, I hear that as a place where you might want some makeup gain and some compression to just get those lower words up a little bit louder so they don't feel like they're getting lost in the track, right? So let's listen through and think, would that be an automation decision, or could we actually compress the vocal some more and turn up the low end of it? It was like 3 minutes. And I like it when vocals are not too compressed, because once it's too compressed, you can't undo that. Like the words "for me" are pretty loud. Yeah, I think I would compress this vocal more. I like that delay on there. Wah, 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 wah. Total vibe in this track. And listen. Okay, now let's listen to the bass line. Really clear bass, and there's a little bit of fuzz on the top of the bass. You hear that? This synth, the pluck. That delay could even be a little louder. Ooh, Piv, excellent comment. Some optical compression. So optical is a different kind of input detection circuit where it actually uses an LED light to do the intensity of the light, and then as the light fades, the release time changes, so it has a different release on the sound. Really cool. That's an interesting comment. How did you... So Piv, I want to... This is a comment from our mastering guy. What exactly did you hear in the vocal that made you think the optical compressor is the right tool for that? Is it possible to answer that? That would be a great answer. Let me go back a little bit. I want to hear those synth plucks. Filters moving. Okay, optical sounds smooth. Okay. One more time. Listen to the lead vocal, the backup vocals, and the synth. The synth filter comes down, the little backup comes together. Right here. It has this pulse. The pulse is like after the beat. It's such a great rhythm in this whole vocal group. I love these answers. Okay, so optical compressors. Number one, you can drive them really hard. Number two, they still sound natural. Number three, we don't want it to feel over-compressed. We want it to flow with the vocal. So the way that the optical compressor releases, the release time is going to be different based on what's coming in the input. So it makes it feel more natural. We can achieve that thing of like the dynamics happening to emphasize certain words and then still get some makeup gain to bring up the quieter part of the vocal. Matt Schultz, optical does not tend to pump on heavier settings. It stays smooth. These are all great answers. I wish I had an LA2A. Back up. So Robert Fulkerson, Machine Soul, this is a great track. I think maybe a little bit of vocal compression and then raise the delay. The volume of the delay return, I think, could be a little louder so we hear more of that cool delay. I don't think I have any other comments. Bass is beautiful, kick drum is great, mid-range is all clear. Drum programming is cool, synth is like moving around, got layers. Let's check mono. And mono right here. I'm gonna go back and do the breakdown on mono. All the time in my stereo. That's the delay that could be louder at 422. Mono. Seems like to be good in mono. You know, you lose the feeling of the reverbs, but I think they're still there. This track is amazing. My favorite part about it is that hypnotic second vocal pulse. Oh. I just latch onto that one sound. All right, cool. Well, this turned into a really good conversation about processing vocals. Pretty much the only problem, it's not even a problem, but the only thing I would change in this track is the lead vocal work, a little more compression, and then add some volume on the delay return. And we're good. Let's check out the final end. I didn't play through that. And I'm guessing this is probably, 117, not 230 BPM. Yeah, this tune is done. This is 99% done. Wait, was there hand percussion the whole time? That was a nice finger roll. Lush mix out. Where is that hand percussion? $276 hertz. Another place where 270 is awesome. Hand percussion, conga, slap, all the body and tone of a hand drum is great at 270, but for your baseline, 270 hertz can be messed up. I'm curious, where did that percussion come in? We don't have a lot of tracks today, so I'm just gonna like play with the details on the tracks we have. We're gonna skip through a little bit and find out where is that. DJ Water is a dissenting opinion. The opposite of everything you like about music. I don't understand what that means, but I get the fact that it's not your style. So we're looking, where does the hand drum come in? I think it might be in right here. So I can hear that hand percussion in there, but it's very subtle, and it kind of lines up with the bubbling of the synth. The hand percussion's in there, but it's so nicely mixed in, it just becomes part of the bubbling rhythm of the whole track and doesn't stick out like, here I am, the drummer. It's great, man. Okay, before I talk about this song all day, claps for the Machine Soul. That's really interesting. So this is done. You could put this out and people would listen to it. If you want some tips, maybe do a little more on the vocals and a little bit of the effects. And we're cool. DFA Records, is that Defora you're talking about? All right, Ben Hunt, since you piped up in the chat, we're going to play your track. By the way, Ben Hunt is on House Volume 1. Check it out. Listen to what he's been doing lately because it's good. And here we go. EQ flat, stereo wide. That snap is awesome. Let me check the changelog here. Oh, DFA LCD sound system. Gotcha. Okay, bass EQ. Oh yeah, the sub bass note. Those three notes. Little melody work, vocal sample, rim shot, timpani, EQ. Okay. All right, cool. So the last track has a bit of pop radio station feel, and it's definitely. All right, yeah, that's a good. Absolutely respect that opinion, totally. Ooh, I like that kick drum's nice and clear. Okay, so I'm listening to these two bass notes. Bop, bop, bop. That is a good improvement. These upbeat bass notes. Last week they had a lot of sub bass on there. Now the sub is gone. Fits better in the mix. Everything's flowing. Get the shovel, we're digging the track. Synths and vocal thing are good. Curious about a little high shelf right here. That one little closed hat, that could be a little louder for me, because the high end of the synth has kind of an airy, breathy, like there's like a wispy thing on the top end of that synth. So I think the closed hi-hat could be a little bit brighter or a little bit louder to get into the high frequency space along with the high end of the synth. I'm gonna high EQ right here. Just listen to the pad synth. So that synth, I think you could take off some of the high frequency on that synth, a shelf EQ down like 2 dB or something to let your percussion come through more crisp. And actually, just like that, okay. We're getting some tips here. That background synth has a wispy high frequency layer. What I would do is automate that through the whole thing so that like when there's a drop coming in with new closed hi-hats, take down that synth high frequency at that moment and let the bright hi-hats really come in as like, then at this moment like 320 when we're coming up to a swell, then open up the high frequency and build it up into the reverb so we get like this high frequency wash. Let me just kind of do what I did again in the replay. Okay, here's a flat on the highs. And I just did a high shelf boost as we came into that breakdown. So you, again, use the instruments in the track to build down and build back up rather than trying to slap on a white noise riser, everybody else in the future. We're back to EQ flat right here. Tempo tracking is a little weird today. I don't know why. I'm totally in the groove on this one. One more time with this little section. I like that melody. And again, the high shelf. There's a lot of cool high frequency in the percussion. Totally solved the low end bass line issue. And so Ben, are you clear on which sound I was talking about to do the high shelf sweeps with? It's this synth right here. That one. The plucky one is cool, but that sweepy one, that's where I would play with lowering the high frequencies to get the high end of the drums up a little bit. Yay, Steve, stop talking. Great track, man. Version 3, just a little bit of automation in the highs, and I think we're good to go. I'm not sure if anybody else had comments, but that was great. All I get is static. All I want is TV. All I need is a story. Cool. Yeah, and that's a really subtle tip. I mean, that's like a minor edit. Ooh, Shepherd's clap can be sidechained a touch more to the kick. How is that different from just turning down the clap? Because the clap only happens when the kick is happening, right? So do you want the Shepherds, you want the clap quieter? Because if you sidechain the clap and the kick, it's basically the clap is only going to get ducked when the kick is hitting, so it's like every clap would be quieter. What did you hear that made that comment? I'm curious. This track is a vibe. Those triple kick drums. Where's OSP today, by the way? Shepherds, it's about the kick impacts. Do you mean that the kick drum transient would be more obvious if the clap was not as big? That's cool. I think what I really like is when people observe something about the music and I don't hear something, they hear something different from what I hear. Okay, Shepherds, the transient of the kick is in the same frequency range like the clap. That's a perfect answer. Okay, so the kick has like a front end high frequency transient thing, and the clap is kind of masking that with its snap. So if you want to hear a snappier kick, what you would do is sidechain the kick and clap so that like 30 milliseconds of the clap is quiet for the kick drum to come through, and then the tail of the clap would be loud. That's what I'm kind of getting out of that. That's a really interesting comment. That's pretty detailed too. I hope that makes sense to everybody out there in replay land, because sometimes we get deep on the milliseconds. So, AFL, who also, by the way, is on House Volume 1. That track has been stuck in my head for like 3 weeks. Here we go. Breathing, AFL version 2, EQ flat. Steve, stop talking. Yeah, Shepherds, that's a cool comment. I like that. This track goes really well after the last one, too. Those feel like two peas in a pod. Quick mono check. Has good stereo width. I feel like Bjork is gonna start singing on this. Those little ear candies are cool. Can those be louder? Ian, I saw your comment right there. 137. I was waiting. I was ready for a kick drum at 137. I remember this. All right, that was good. 208. Let me come at you with a little bit of low end. I think the kick drum can be a bit louder here. There's a lot of space on the bottom to have a real nice boom down there. Bassline is okay. I didn't notice the bassline too low, but when the kick came in, I was really like, I was waiting for this kick drum and it just wasn't as big as I was imagining it. And I want to go back to, naturally I felt like 137 was going to be the spot the kick drum came in. So let's listen to like what else is happening to get that feeling. It's that crash, that reverse cymbal coming in right there is why I expected a kick drum. So John, maybe low end from the new melody layer? I'm not sure which moment is new. But I don't know, I think if you just raise the volume on the kick drum, the instrument group doesn't feel like it has crazy low end. I think just some more kick drum, just pure volume would be good. Possibly what I would do is like right before 137, maybe take out that reverse crash so it doesn't trick you, or have that reverse crash and drop a bass impact that's one of those like dive bomb sounds, you know, like pew. So it's not a kick drum, but it does give us a bass drop. Try that. I think that would be cool for this genre. Because it's okay to have a false drop and be like, oh, you tricked me, you fucker. But give us some bass on that moment too, and then we can wait for 208. Like a little appetizer. Matt Schultz with a dissenting opinion. Don't bring the kick earlier. I think you're right. I think, oh my God, we're gonna have a brawl. This is why we don't do track feedback in person. People be like, and for this beautiful of a track, 3 minutes right here. This is a breakdown. We're chilling. We're gonna go into a build-up. And then we're gonna come back to here. Please strap on another minute, another kick drum bass section with some plucks or something like that, and then the ending, because we're not done at 3.5. Yeah, what would happen if we do a reverse crash and then a bass impact? Right there at 136. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the way to do it. I'll extend it. Please. This is a perfect moment right here. Especially because we really only had like a good solid minute of beats. 2-minute intro, they can totally work with this track. Nice long intro, nice build up, it's coming in. And also, okay, when she says, I can hear that sample get cut off and it stops. Can you do a micro fade on the end of that breath? Here's what it sounds like. I just hit the mute switch and cut off the tail of the breathing. Anytime somebody's breathing in your ear that close, you don't want them to glitch. Might be an Android. That's fucked up. Yeah, fade down that little tail or put a reverb on that breath. So it extends. Let the moment linger, you guys. I know I'm being weird, but seriously, I heard that. And then, dude, you could totally have a minute of bass and beats and pick a synth, you know, strip it down a little bit, make it different from what we heard before, and play with that. Right here is where the track is like, romantic advice from DJ Waters. So you gotta think about a sloth, right? Like they don't breathe too quickly, they just kind of ooze through the moment. Other than that, this is, all the elements are like, the part that we heard right now is like done, right? This part right here, the mix, the vibe, the energy, the way it goes through these little bits. This is all done right here, so don't fuck that up. We're talking about a bass impact at 137, another minute at the end, flow with the and version 3 could be it. Version 3 could be done. Claps for AFL, who, by the way, you may have noticed is on what? House Volume 1. Where do we get it? Mixatexturebandcamp.com. Every single one of these tracks is worth listening to, and I guarantee anybody who buys this album is going to find. If you're into this kind of music, you'll find like at least 3 jams you can play in a set. And that brings us to This Will Be the End. Not the last track today. Oh, we got Tim Laws on there too. Is Tim with us? Dinats. Here we go. We've heard this before, so let's let me start this over. Check the changelog. I like that bass sound. Updated version. Cut out that second bass layer to clean that up. A little arrangement tweak. All right, cool. That bass sounds great. And I like the synth. Ooh, Pivclit, cool comment. Friend who's a DJ loves the house release. You know, my dream is when we publish releases, I always want to see a video of a party with one of the tracks playing, people going crazy, jumping around, and like good enough sound that we can recognize what track it is. That's what I really want to see for me, is like the success of the music is just seeing people in real life enjoy it. Dinats on the drop. Yeah, the bass is sounding good. One of those, just totally, I want to explain this. There's 3 vocal samples happening. The third one is frequency clashing. It's a little off pitch from the synth. So we got this quarter note synth going down, bow, 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 bow. The third little vocal sample is kind of quiet, and it's like mushing on that synth thing. Let's go back to where the vocals come in. Bow, 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 bow. That's the synth, right? Right there at 104. That third one. Wow. That third one, right? That third little one is like kind of quiet. The first one is good. The first one, whoop, that's good. First one, second one, third one. First one, second one on it. So one of those little background vocals I think doesn't need to be there because it's overlapping on that synth part. Whoops, good. Right there at 104, that little one is not blending so well. DJ Waters, you know who's gonna have a hit? It's gonna be you with Frenchcore coming out with some 100,000 sales on day 2. Yeah. And Be the End is cool. Okay, now the vocals are working. Yeah. So at the beginning, like exactly at 104, that one little vocal snippet was not working. You just don't need it right there. Oh. Exactly right there, 209. So here they work in the breakdown, but at the intro section, I like the delay. Nice long delay, keep that going. And the hi-hat, yes. perfect. Oh, that reminds me. Danats on House Volume 1. This bass line is awesome right here. Whoop. This is perfect. This is like the best of Danats, all the best parts. The chopped up vocal, the up and down bass line, the hi-hats, the beats. Yeah, man, this jam is working, totally. I think we're gonna be done. Yeah. Wow. All you gotta do is cut out that one little... Wow. Cut out that part in the first minute. Wait till later to have all the pieces of the vocal, because one of them clashes with a synth. This bass line, though. I heard that little kick drum in there, too. And that's cool, too. We had a build up, a dropout, so we don't have that. Like, the track is very dynamic and changing. Some of the early Danats tracks would be like 7 minutes where we're chugging through this like 2-minute drop. And it's nice that this is, it actually makes you wait for it more. So when the beat comes back, you're like, yes. Nice vocal treatment right there. I think this is about done. Tiny details for another version. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Nice. Solid. This one is done. So now this is basically like the mix out part. It's a little bit repetitive because we heard that vocal a lot lately. Perfect. Now here's the ending mix out, right? How did I know that crash was coming? That's an example of something you want it to be predictable, and then when you get it, it's so good. It's like, there's the crash, perfect. Because really what that crash is doing is introducing a new section on the record that's mixing in underneath, you know what I mean? Danats. That shit is solid. Only thing, minute 04, cut out that one little vocal piece. Up until you know what to do. Defo, Earworm, Danats. We got a little piece of intro music called All Fucked Up from DJ Waters. Can I play this? I want to play this. It's 58 seconds long. Creative output of the mind of Ian Waters. Oh, interesting comment. Drop the vocals after the break altogether. So for Danats, maybe after this break, are you talking about? Are you talking about 4 minutes and then drop the vocals altogether? Or... Are you talking about 5 minutes or 4 minutes? Because I can see it might make sense either way to like cut the vocals out for the very last piece. Just curious what you meant. Look at that fading on the beat like a pro. Here we go. A little bit of 1 minute DJ Waters to cleanse your palate.
You're all fucked up.
Yes, man.
You're all fucked up. You can't even think what you're saying.
I'm gonna cut down the high mids a little bit. Add a little bit of low. Oh, James is here. What's up?
Oh, fucked up.
Up. All right. So what I did was I cut down around the 3 kilohertz region because that screechy thing was just getting at me. Added some low end just because we needed a little more bass. And then I added some high frequency to crispy up the top. I want to hear that again.
You're all
Proper.
fucked up.
And I'm going to do the bass flat.
Oh, fucked up.
That's flat. And boost. I like the low end there.
You're all fucked up. You can't even think what you're saying. Oh, fucked up.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Mono.
fucked up. You can't even think what you're saying.
Stereo. That is pretty low.
Oh, fucked up.
That's perfect. It's actually a perfect expression of what it feels like to be all fucked up when you hear that. Boom, boom, boom. Well, I gotta say, I want more. I want it longer. I want more bass. And I have said this many times before. I don't know why this is or what's going on in here, but something about Ian's music actually makes me feel really relaxed. You get in there and it's gong, 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 gong. And it's like not possible to have anything else going on in your brain when that's happening. So it's relaxing, even though it's a total overload at the same time. Mush all that together. I saw James Sargent just popped in. Happy birthday yesterday on release day. For what? For House Volume 1, Dimutech Techahedron. Right there, coming in at track 8. Really cool track that we're not going to play right now, but it did come through track feedback. And we want to hear many more happy returns of mixes from James. I'm promoting this shit out of this record. It's such a fun thing to hear this come to completion. Come to fruition. So Ian, I don't know if you want feedback on that piece of, I'll call it sound. I don't know if I want to go as far as to say music, but only 150 BPM. Shepherd's wants more distortion. I want some more bass. I want some more minutes. I want some more. So let's get into Tim Law's Temple 01. Oh, wait, is Tim Laws on this release? Dun, dun, dun. Temple 1, Vision, also on House Volume 1. Yep. We play music. Here's what's in the background. It's hot here, and I took down my acoustic panels, and that's the background you hear, scratching around my voice with the gate. Okay, so what are we doing? It is 1:15 in the afternoon, and we're going to listen to Friday version 3, Tim Laws, EQ flat, stereo wide. Here we go. pushed up the broadcast volume a little bit. I'll leave it here. Nice opening intro. Right away, the first sounds that I heard said, you can trust this mix, like you're gonna get the sounds, right? Going up, 125. Oh shit, I thought a drop was coming right there. A longer breakdown, tricked me. So the background chords feel a little bit too quiet. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is a happy face mix. Nice big bottom, really crispy top. Mids are a little sucked out. Let's see if maybe we get some more instruments to fill that space. Matt Schultz, more dub chords. I think we could be coming your way. Oh, I didn't expect that vocal. This is a great track, man. Nice deep sub in there. The snare is feeling a little bit like papery. There's almost too much of a high frequency on it. Compared to like, because like the sub bass is deep and the chords are kind of like smoky dubby, I think the snare could be a little bit more muffled. That was cool. Let those synth beeps be that really high frequency. Take the snare drum and just EQ the top end of it down a bit so that it's not quite so bright. Shepard is chords up, percussion down. Basically, he just said in 4 words what I talked about for like a minute. Nice, yeah, the arrangement's great. The flow. Yes. Those little beeps are great. That arpeggiator. Nice. Was that a tape stop on there? Damn. That vocal sample. Kind of like we heard in Machine Soul. Nice. That's an aggressive break for a deep house kind of track. Oh, cool. It's kind of like a B section right here. That's interesting. Yeah, that... This is an interesting vibe. It's deep house, but with some of that bassline house, little glitchy influences from like a more... Okay, I think at 350 you could bring in like a ride cymbal or an open hi-hat. Because... So after that riser, the percussion is kind of the same as before the riser. And that moment is such a good place to bring in something else in the percussion. Right here, we got that swung hi-hat. Riser going up. Up. Right here. Either an open hi-hat or a ride cymbal at 350. Yeah, Ben, garage vibes. That's... Yeah. This follows after Donat's perfectly, too. It's got that little bit of a bounce, a little bit of vocal chopped up shit. Yeah. How about a little crash on here? Little short crash, high frequency like a China crash. I don't know why, the snare is too bright for me. The sample itself is okay, but just the position of it in the frequency range. The hi-hats are really bright, the snare doesn't need to be that bright. Whoa. All right, so we got too many Ian and Shepard's, a couple too many interruptions in the flow. I would say for a deep house track, you would expect it to be smoother. Like if this was Randy or Octavio or something, you would expect a more like smooth flow. This has kind of a jumpy flow where there's like a stop and then a glitch or something like that. Okay, Matt, here you go. Definitely a Matt Schultz ending. I don't know, I like the song structure. The part that tricked me was the beginning where that big build-up, 2, 3, 4, I expected to drop it 33 seconds and we got this long thing. I don't know, so there's a little bit of a debate on the song structure, but 5.5 minutes, to me the structure of the word is aggressive, where there's like, you're in the sonic world of sound design is like smooth and chill and like dubby, but then the glitches, the tape stop, the little drum rolls, the snare rolls, and the transitions are sort of an aggressive style that makes it more energetic than a deep track. Yeah, James, I like the vocal a lot. Like, I like the sound design a lot. Those arpeggiators. Yeah, there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of gaps and little jumpy things, so it does feel like more chopped up than a deep track. I don't think it's a problem though. This fits in. If you know the Temple of One sound, this fits with that world. That vocal delay could be louder and longer for me. Okay, Shepherds, that's a really good comment. Difficult to completely get into the groove because there's so many interruptions. Yeah. So Tim, that's gonna be up to you to decide if your audience is into this like choppy kind of breaks and style, it totally works. If you want to pull it towards more of a smooth deep house vibe, maybe give us like a little bit of a longer ride without a chopped up rhythm. That's my favorite part, that arpeggiator. And how do we get to the ending here? Mix is pretty solid. No major mix problems. Okay, so James, use the tape stop as like an intro to a mini break. Matt, the interruptions are fine. It's the closed hi-hat that stands out. So good comments. And let me tell you something. When you have a track where a lot of people have a personal opinion on what to do, that usually means the track is pretty well done, because we don't hear any common problems where we're like, oh my God, that's fucked up. Like nothing in the track is sticking out as a major problem. So now what you're seeing in this feedback session is people are like, here's what I would do, here's what I would do, here's what I would do. And we all throw in kind of creative opinions because there's no problem with the basic bones of the track. That's how I would interpret this. So what are we talking about? House Volume 1. You want to get more involved? Check us out on Bandcamp. What you're looking at here is a record made by the group where we share tracks, give each other feedback, accept feedback, edit our tracks, make them better, bring it back again and again and again. We hang out every week, we tease each other, it's all love, and we end up with some finished work that's really amazing. And anybody watching this, check out House Volume 1, pay what you want, 14 tracks. I guarantee you're gonna find something you can play in a set. It goes just like feedback today, a little bit chill, a little bit deep, a little bit bouncy. It's all in there from, 120 to 128. And everybody has their own unique style. That's what I really like. It's not predictable genre of what does house sound like? What is deep house? What is disco house? Like every person in here has their own vibe, their own voice. You can really feel that in the music. It fits into a house set, but it's bringing in an element of like, wow, that's a unique track. It's something you can remember that's gonna stand out. So that's going on. We got a new release coming out to look forward to with Den on, DistroKid. Well, that's the publisher, right? And then some Nomadism music coming up. And I'm looking forward to some of these finished things happening soon. So for a little bit of news, yes, I am relocating Mixatexture to Hawaii. Had an amazing opportunity come up since I can work remotely and work online. We're gonna be doing the whole thing from over there. And this is the last week of feedback. So Wednesday, August 31st is gonna be the last feedback session from this studio. Then during the section when I'm moving, I'm only gonna be able to do comments on Discord with headphones. I'm not streaming. All my shit's gonna be in a shipping container going across the ocean. So there's gonna be a couple of weeks without live streaming. I don't wanna try and do a crappy live stream with my phone or something like that. I like hanging out and I like having the chat and all that, but I don't think it would be actually that useful to try and do a review. I realized more and more over the last year that a big part of what I do in feedback is actually EQing on the analog mixer and being able to like cut the EQ and turn up the volume and really show you what I'm hearing in the music, or maybe turn down the volume and jack up the bass EQ like I did with Shepard's. So since that's such an important part, I'm gonna pause on live streams for like at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. That depends on how long it takes for the boat to get to Hawaii. But I'll definitely be on Discord starting next Saturday with comments in writing, which might even be more useful. Timestamp comments, and then we can continue our threads, continue researching the nature of human reproduction. Yeah, you guys are posting some stuff in there that makes me laugh. Oh, Matt Schultz got something coming out on melatonin in September. Cool, drop the link, let us know. I'll promote that in the next stream in September. Ian, I would have a whole section of the last 8-bar. No vocals or any furniture, just the kicks. That's always good. Yeah, we have so much time, we get picky. Interruptions are fine. Yep. Thank you for all the positive wishes on the move. I'm serious. I will invite every single person in this feedback to come visit us in Hawaii. We're building a little we're converting a space into a guest house. So there's gonna be a place you can look out the window and literally see pineapples growing. We can go to the beach, we can go to the ocean, we can eat avocados. I never really wanted to be a millionaire, but if I could afford to fly everybody out and have a Mixatexture event in Hawaii and pay for the airfare and just have you guys pay for your food while you're there, that's like one reason I want to be a millionaire, so I could do that. So figure out how to have that happen. Oh, and then by the way, I've been working on this EQ course, how to EQ your tracks, hands-on lessons. The beta test version is going to be ready this week. That is going to happen. The lessons are done. The site is done. The videos are done. I'm just hooking up the last back-end tech to make sure when you sign up, you get access to download the lessons, do the testing, and give me feedback and comments and everything. So I'm hoping some of you are going to grab that and do some testing with these lessons and tell me what you think. That is a cool tape stop. That's it. Me and the Egypt's bags packed. Saturday on the doorstep. I got a cold Guinness waiting for you and some hair dye. Do you ever see that joke when somebody dyes their hair and you're like, does the carpet match the drapes? I don't know if you say that. I'm not saying that about a specific person, but it's a funny comment of like the hair. Okay, before I go any further into people's lives, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks to everybody who's supported us in House Volume 1. This is what we are doing, making tracks, helping each other make them better, putting them out on records, and that's Mixatexture. Thank you so much, everybody. I will catch you on Wednesday. Bye.